One of the things that I've been talking about recently is branding and how it has an impact on the videos and the different things which has happened with the clients that we've been dealing with when we're trying to get some video which is more in line with everything else that they're doing within their business and their organisation. Now, to me, my rule of thumb with branding is that it's what your clients think of you or your prospects when you're not around, and your appearance, the approach that you give to things, that all helps set that perception for your clients and your prospects. But I'm going to throw this same question over to Sam. Sam, you run Angel Enterprises,
Yep.
and she's done a lot of work, in this space. I just worry about the videos, and I have to use the branding to beat that consistency. But you actually go into that whole area and help clients get that branding area
Yes.
sorted out.
Yes.
Good.
So I'm a branding specialist.
Yeah,
And to me, branding is the overall messaging, like you said,
yeah,
that your business has to itself, but also to the clients and customers. So that is the visual messaging and also the words that you use
yeah,
to describe how your business operates.
yeah. Now I know branding is important,
Mm-hmm.
but can you tell me from your experience what happens when a business doesn't have good branding?
When a business doesn't have good branding, a lot of things happen. The main one is inconsistency between the website, the social media posts, videos, like you
Yeah,
said, and that really sends mixed messages to the client base
yeah,
and can be really make your business really disjointed from within as well. And it's not as clear as to what you do or how you are perceived by the
yeah.
audience.
So what happens then with your clients if you got mixed messages coming through?
A lot of the time clients won't approach you. They'll go for a brand that's got consistent messaging because it's not clear to them where you stand, what you're doing, and that can be really bad for business.
Yeah. So basically, you're losing business.
Yeah, you lose business. Yeah.
Yeah, simply because you don't have a consistent
Mm,
message.
yeah.
Yeah. So flip it around now.
Mm.
People, in their businesses, they do have this consistent branding. It's a good
Yeah.
brand. What happens then to their businesses?
Well, I mean, it's the opposite. You tend to attract more clients because when you've got a business that has consistent messaging, it makes it easier for them when they go to your website. It's all there and they can access it well. But if they go through social media channels, they that consistency is just really key in attracting clients because they understand where you stand and they understand what you're selling,
Yeah,
and that's the important bit. And customers will pick up on that.
yeah, yeah. I think it also is one way of projecting confidence.
Oh, exactly. It
Yeah,
it projects confidence, self belief,
yeah,
and I guess discipline as well because it shows that you've really thought about your business and what your business means
yeah,
as an owner.
yeah. Good. So, what are those key elements that you're looking for? So, when you look at businesses somewhere, and you say, "Well, that's good branding,"
Mm.
what are those sorts of things which stand out to you that says it's good branding?
So, I mean, there's three aspects to branding
Yeah,
that I really look at. The first one is your logo, and that's something that is on all of your messaging. It's on all of your assets and it appears everywhere. And then the other two, which I think are actually more important than your logo, is your colors and your fonts. And those will show through your logo. So having a color that really stands with you like your beliefs and your values as a business, and a font that goes with that as well. And from there, you can then create your messaging and all of that. And those elements will blend through your website, your social media, your all your other assets.
yeah. A funny story about fonts. This was years ago. Was setting up your being website for a company that was doing real estate, and I was working with another fella similar to where you come in, and I said to the proprietor, "What sort of font you looking for?" And he looked at us and almost ripped into us. Says, "What do you mean? What sort of font?" Yeah, it's good. It's banks are like that. It's what happened. I looked at the other fellow, and he looked at me and said, "Strong and body and great," and we went off to work.
Mm,
Because a lot of people, I think, are like that. They've got this idea in their head, and they just don't realise that there's a million other ideas as
mm.
well as that. So we need to clarify what it is that they have, so that we can project that out into where they go.
Yeah, I mean, something that I look at when I'm looking at a business and doing branding is the idea of the business's personality. I treat the business like a person, and if you're a bold company, you want to have like a really bold font, bold colors, and that can bleed into the assets and the logo. If you're more of like a creative fun, you
Yeah,
look at your script fonts and things
yeah,
like that. And it's kind of interesting how the fonts and the colors can create the subliminal messaging for customers
yeah,
that a lot of people don't think of, because it's so subconscious, even as business owners, because we're still consumers. um, you don't realize how many subliminal messages and how many subconscious things happen
yeah,
when you look at a brand. So yeah, it's really important.
yeah. I'm sure of that. I just know from a video
Yeah.
perspective. Our brain processes 11 million bits of
Mm,
information a second.
mm.
10 of that 11 is visual.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it really picks up
Mm,
on it. But even more interesting, out of that 11 million bits, there's only 300 bits that are processed subconsciously.
mm.
Everything else is
Yeah.
subconscious.
Mm,
So just bang, bang, bang. We
yeah.
don't even realize we've done it.
Mm,
Okay. Uh, Sam, one really important question.
mm,
I like working with your businesses that have got their branding sorted out, and often they've had somebody like you come in, or they've got enough in their own organisation to have somebody who works, in that area to actually work all of that out. But most of the businesses that I come to, because branding is so nebulous and hard to define, and you can't measure it, even though we know that the impact is huge, has a
mm,
big impact, it's very difficult to actually define what it is and what the benefit of it is.
mm.
So, because of that, they tend to just sort of do it themselves or put it off for another day or anything like that. So, what is the benefit for businesses, particularly small businesses, to get somebody like you and part with their hard-earned cash to get their branding sorted out?
I think the number one reason to hire someone to do your branding is they're going to think, I'm going to think of things you won't think of.
Hmm.
They're so, like you said, it's really hard to define and really hard to narrow down all the specifics that will help improve your branding, because it's hard to define. And by having someone like myself and a branding specialist come in and do the work, we think of things that you just never would have thought of, and we have conversations with you to get those elements down really fine tuned, and the quality is going to be higher. The files that you receive are going to be of greater value, and it really comes down to being able to think outside the box for branding. I work on branding all day, every day. So for me, there's aspects of things that I'm going to see in your business that you haven't thought of yet, and I can have those conversations with you.
Yeah. I also think, just from a financial point of view, it ends up being cheaper.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely ends up being cheaper. Um, for a lot of different reasons. You're not having to redo things or play with things, and you've got to value your time. If you're doing it yourself as a business owner, that's time that you're taking away from your actual business. And so by parting with your money and hiring someone like me, you're not losing that time to put into your business for your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. And I hate rework myself. Yeah. And when you're doing your own branding in that sort of general area, if you don't have that sort of a background, you're sort of going through that loop so many
Oh yeah,
times.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and just the people that you have worked with, what's in general has been their reaction when they see the finished product and how it connects with their business?
I get a lot of positive reviews
Yeah.
about how I've understood the business
Yeah.
and put that into visuals and words that they just never thought of using
Yeah.
before.
Yep. And the impact on the company after that. So once they've got their branding in place, what happens to their business?
Once the branding's in place, it's really easy then to look at how the website can be developed and how business cards, social media, all those assets they kind of just fall into place at that point. When I don't have a branding suite from the business, you spend a lot more time working on those elements as part of those projects, which takes a little bit more time and more thought. And if I've got the branding before then, everything else just falls into place.
Yeah. 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 No, I understand that totally. Same with video. Yeah, I mean, we did a video together a little while back.
Yes.
Yeah, and we spent more time planning it than actually shooting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if we didn't do it like that, we would have spent 10 times the amount of time shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we had a plan. We didn't stick to the plan, but, and I think the same with branding, it tells you the guidelines, you know, where you want to go. And if you break the rules, you're doing it intentionally
Yes.
for a reason, and you know the impact.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's why people would hire you to come in to save themselves time
Yep.
and to get a better result.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, is there anything else, any other key areas that you think people need to consider? So you're talking about the logo, the fonts, and the colours.
Other key aspects I think that are important are the themes of your business. So my business, for example, wellness is a key theme, and I integrate that into the messaging quite well. And I think by having those themes and identifying those themes, you can really stand out because you know what the idea behind your business.
Well, there you got it straight from a marketing branding expert. If you haven't thought seriously about your branding, then it's time to do that. And it's not really as hard as you think. It's just a matter of taking the ideas that you already have in your head, putting them down on paper. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because most business people have an unconscious brand, but because they haven't quantified or put it down some tangible form, it gets that inconsistency that Sam is talking about. And when you get that consistency, you get a lot more confidence coming back in from your customers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Sam.
No worries.
See you around.